All right, Shalom. I want to start off this video by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Rukakwadash, and double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and grace and peace to you elect around the four winds, believing and pushing this truth in all sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. This is your fellow servant, Rokayer from the GMS Orlando camp, coming at you with another impromptu lesson. All right, leave your emotions in the world. All right, leave your emotions in the world. You know, and tonight's lesson is inspired by the lesson that the Elder Manata Zakba did concerning the comment made by this guy, Neil. I forget what his name is, but it's formerly Neil. Regarding a lesson that he made that day or earlier that day or either the day before. All right, going into the wickedness of Jake. You know, and he had the thumbnail that was exposing Jake's wickedness. You know, and I guess this guy Neil had a problem with it, you know, saying that the elders' thumbnail was inappropriate, you know. And I just want to speak on this matter real quick, man, because you're seeing a lot more Jakes pop out the woodworks who are full of emotions, you know. And for brothers of the faith, that is a dangerous thing to deal in. You know, when it comes to emotions are a dangerous characteristic to deal in, especially for men of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, because your emotions can trick you out your spot. Your emotions will lead you to think that this message of ours is full of hate. You know, your emotions will lead you to think that the doctrine that's being preached through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, you know, is not profitable for salvation. It's hateful for the other nations, and you know, it's not PC, it's not politically correct. You know, your emotions will trick you out your spot in this truth of ours, man. It's a very dangerous thing to deal in. You know, and like the Elder Manata Zakba went into, you know, a lot of you Jakes have to toughen up through the Spirit. Gird up your loins, man. This is Job chapter 38 and verse 3. It says, gird up now thy loins like a man, for I will demand of thee, and answer thou me. All right, the Lord told us to gird up our loins like men, you know, and that's the fashion of man that the Lord is speaking about is worlds apart from the so-called manhood that we learn in today's society. In today's society, a man wears skinny jeans, Crocs, got dreadlocks, painted nails, go get his hair done every week, eyebrows did. Pretty boy. That's what a man in today's society is, man. A man today, and a man in today's standards is full of emotions, raised by the so-called the nigger woman. It's basically a woman in man's flesh. That's what today's men are. And you can't bring that into the truth. That's not the type of man that the Lord is raising up here in these latter days. All right, the Lord is raising up men of faith, austere men, just like our Lord. You know, men of understanding, men of wisdom, men who are wise, you know, men of order. That's who the Lord is raising up here in these latter days, man, not men full of emotions, you know, and getting out of whack over a thumbnail is very petty. It's very emotional, and it's flat out, it's off, bro. It's weak. It's weak. The Lord said this again, Job 38 and 3, gird up now thy loins like a man, for I will demand of thee, and answer thou me. And the Elder Manasseh Zakba had a beautiful point. You know, if you're getting hung up over thumbnails, you're not ready for what's to come. It's much like Jake, who gets hung up by brothers using curse words. One thing you have to understand is that you have brothers, the Lord has pulled brothers out of many different ways of life, many different walks of life. Not every brother is going to speak elegantly. Not every brother has the best vernacular. You know, not every brother finished high school. Some brothers didn't even go to high school. For real. Some brothers have speech problems. Some brothers grew up in a different way of life. They may have grew up on the rougher side of life. Some brothers may have grew up on the so-called better side of life. You know, you have men of all aspects of life in this truth of ours, man. You know, to appeal to all aspects of Jake. You know, but nevertheless, the message is what matters. The message is what matters. Brothers are passionate, you know, when they speak. You know, you may have brothers who curse a lot more, so-called curse a lot more than others. And you have brothers who don't curse at all. But to be hung up over so-called curse words is very weak. Some of you Jakes are hung up over curse words being brought out, but you listen to this demonic-ass rap music. You watch movies with all sorts of cursing in it. You go to your job and they cursing all around you. You don't tell them to stop. But when it comes to the men of the Lord, oh, it's hurting. This is wrong, brother. Man, get out of here with that weak shit, man. Gird up your loins, man. This is another one the Lord said to do as well. This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 14, and verse 14. It says, let go from the mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature. All right? And being offended by small things, emotional, is weak nature. There are far greater things coming to the planet Earth and that are going to befall us here in these latter days than thumbnails and language. You're going to hear a lot. You're going to hear a lot more cursing in the days to come. When these niggas' stomachs are touching their back, when the famine hits, when it's more plagues and pestilences, when these niggas lose their job, when they can't feed their family, when their kids are crying, when the blood is up to the horse's bridle, when the MOTB is issued in, when they start getting them sores, pursuing Revelation 14 and 9 from that MOTB, when World War III is kicked off and these niggas get drafted, you're going to hear a lot more than cursing. You're going to hear a lot worse than cursing. You're going to see a lot worse than a thumbnail. Getting emotional over these things is weak nature, man. And the Lord said, put it off, especially in the times that we're coming in, especially for you men. Hey, get out of that weak spirit, man. The Lord isn't raising up emotional, effeminate beta male simps like the like the brother Isaiah say, man. All right, the Lord ain't raising up no emotional, effeminate beta male simps, man. Hey, the Lord is raising up real men. All right, men according to his standard. You know, men that are going to uphold his standard and stand against the evildoers. Pursuant to Psalms 94 and 16. All right, and that takes a man that is not full of emotion. All right, a man that is full of understanding and wisdom and knowledge. All right, on how to deal with matters according to the truth. All right, the men that are gonna, the men that we read about, you know, being stable in the times of trouble, you know, being delivered from the calamities. All right, are the men that uphold the faith. All right, that are the men that have put away the affairs of this life, the cares of this life, the emotions that come with this life, all right, and put on the standard of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, point blank, period. You know, I got one more. I'm gonna close it out. I'm gonna read this again. This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 14, and verse 14. It says, "Now therefore set thine house in order." 13, so like, "Now therefore set thine house in order, and reprove thy people, comfort such as them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. Let go from the mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature. Set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times." Why? "For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter." All right, there are greater evils coming, all right, than what we are presently witnessing, man. All right, there are greater evils than thumbnails. There are greater evils than so-called cursing. All right, coming to the world, coming to befall the world, man. There are greater evils than these things, man. And if this is throwing you off of whack, I said, hey, that's not a good sign, man. It's time to man up, man. Put the emotions, leave the emotions in the world. You know, the world deals off emotions. The Lord deals with truth. And the truth doesn't necessarily appeal to your emotions every single time. The truth is going to hurt your emotions. The truth is going to crush your emotions. And then it's going to build you back up in wisdom. But leave your emotions in the world, man. There's no place for that in the truth. When you deal with emotions, you deal a very dangerous game. Hey, we see that with 2/3 of Jake. You know, with this gang culture. You know, and Jakes that be riding, sliding on their ops. These niggas are full of emotion. Just because they shoes got stepped on in the club, they go and shoot a nigga up. And then his friends, they feeling emotion about what happened, so they gonna shoot the other side up. It's a continual cycle, full of emotions. Until what you have is a neighborhood full, a roster full of dead ops and niggas in jail. Let the world deal with emotions. Let us deal with the business of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, and these niggas need to be reproved, man. They need to be exposed. Because what they're doing is wrong according to the spirit of, according to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. What these niggas out here doing is wrong. The way these so-called black women conduct themselves is wrong. The way these niggas conduct themselves is wrong. And they need to be exposed, man. They are being exposed through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. They need to be reproved. That shit is off, man. But hey, that being said, that's all I have. Lord, want to edify unto your elect. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash, and double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and grace and peace to the elect around the four winds, believing and pushing this truth in all sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. Shalom. Stay up.